We live in a world full of noise. You're constantly scrolling, clicking, looking for the next best thing. But what if I told you that the key to success is not found in distractions, but in the quiet moments where you choose to put in the work? Where you decide to keep your head down and build, brick by brick, the life you want. You've been told that it's about shortcuts, hacks, or overnight fame. But guess what? Nobody cares. They're not invested in your dreams. Only you are. So here's the truth. Work hard, stay focused, and build yourself. That's the game changer. Here's how to make it happen. You see, too many of us walk through life waiting for someone else to give us the chance to succeed. We think there's a perfect moment when everything will align, or that someone will come along and pull us up. But the truth is, that moment may never come unless we create it for ourselves. The most powerful thing you can do in your journey is to take full responsibility for your own life. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or things out of your control for why things aren't going the way you want them to. But real success comes when you stop looking for someone to hand you an opportunity and start realizing that the power to create it is within you. In a world where we're constantly looking for validation from others, we forget that we are the ones who control the narrative of our lives. When you take ownership of your actions, your decisions, and your outcomes, that's when the real change happens. You can't rely on anyone else to tell you when it's time to act. You must act for yourself. You must choose to show up even when the world feels like it's against you. And let's be clear, that doesn't mean you won't face challenges. It doesn't mean things will always be easy. But it does mean that every step you take, every choice you make is one that you own. When you begin to take ownership, you stop being a passenger in your own life and start being the driver. You stop waiting for permission to chase your dreams and you start chasing them regardless of who's watching or whether anyone agrees with you. It's about saying, I'm going to do this no matter what, and sticking to it. No one can take that from you. It's not about being arrogant or self-centered. It's about recognizing that you have what it takes to make things happen. You don't need external approval to move forward. All you need is your own commitment and belief in what you're doing. This means getting real with yourself. Stop pretending that the world owes you something or that someone else is responsible for your happiness, your career, your success. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we need external circumstances to change first before we can move ahead. But that's just a way of avoiding responsibility. The truth is, when you decide that you are the one responsible, everything changes. You're no longer a victim of life's circumstances. You're the creator. You take control of your decisions. And from that moment on, your life is shaped by what you choose to do with it. Think about the people who inspire you. The ones who have done incredible things. They didn't wait for someone to tell them it was their time. They didn't wait for the perfect circumstances. They simply took ownership of their journey. And that's exactly what you need to do. It's about choosing yourself, day after day, and refusing to settle for anything less than your best effort. When you take ownership of your life, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. The world today is full of distractions. Everywhere you look, there's something vying for your attention. It could be the endless stream of social media updates, the constant buzz of notifications, or even the people around you who don't understand your vision. It's easy to get swept up in the noise, to get lost in the rush of everything happening around you. But here's the thing, distractions are a thief. They steal your focus, your energy, and your time. And once they have that, it's hard to get it back. The secret to success is not in how fast you can move or how many things you can juggle at once. It's in your ability to block out the noise and focus on what truly matters. The moment you choose to silence the distractions is the moment you start taking control of your own journey. It's a conscious decision to say, I'm not going to let the world decide my path for me. Instead, you choose where to place your attention, and you focus on that with everything you have. The world is full of temptations to pull you away from your purpose, but it's in those moments of stillness and clarity that the real progress happens. When you silence the noise, you give yourself the space to think, to create, and to grow. It's in that space that the ideas come, the plans form, and the dreams begin to take shape. But when you're constantly being pulled in a million directions, you lose that space. Your mind becomes cluttered, your energy scattered, and you're left feeling exhausted, even though you haven't really achieved anything. You might be busy, but you're not productive. You might be moving, but you're not going anywhere meaningful. The trick is to learn to prioritize your time and energy. Not everything deserves your attention. Just because something is happening doesn't mean it should be on your radar. Not every notification needs to be checked. Not every conversation needs to be had. Not every opportunity needs to be seized. It's about being intentional with your focus. What is most important to you right now? What will get you closer to your goals? That's where your energy should go. By silencing the noise, you also make room for deeper thinking. You stop reacting to everything happening around you, and instead you start responding based on your own values and vision. You stop letting other people's opinions, judgments, and expectations define you. You stop allowing the world to tell you who you should be. When you focus, you create space for your own voice to emerge, clear and strong. You begin to make decisions that are true to yourself, not because of what someone else thinks, but because of what you know is right for your life. It's not about ignoring the world entirely. You can still live in it, interact with it, and participate in it. But it's about knowing when to shut out the noise so that you can listen to your own thoughts, your own intuition, and your own desires. That's how you move forward. The world will keep pushing distractions your way, but you have the power to choose what to engage with and what to let pass by. And when you learn to do that, you'll find that success comes not from how loud you shout, but from how clearly you hear. Motivation is a powerful feeling, but it's not always reliable. Some days you wake up feeling unstoppable, ready to conquer the world. The ideas are flowing and the energy is there. But other days, the spark just isn't there. The excitement fades and all you feel is the weight of the work ahead. This is the reality of pursuing anything worthwhile. If you rely solely on motivation to get you through, you're setting yourself up for frustration. Motivation isn't constant. It comes and goes like waves. Sometimes it's low, but it always shifts. That's why consistency is the true secret to success. It's the quiet power behind everything that gets done. While motivation might fade, your commitment to showing up doesn't have to. Think about it. It's easy to feel excited when everything's going well. But the real test is in showing up even when you don't feel like it. Success isn't built on those rare moments of inspiration. It's built on the small, everyday actions that keep you moving forward day after day, the grind. The things you do when no one's watching, when the results aren't immediately visible. That's where progress is made. Consistency is about building a habit. It's about making the decision every single day to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step. There will be times when the work feels endless and you wonder if it's even worth it. But remember, every day you show up, you're creating a foundation. You're laying brick after brick, whether you see the results right away or not. It's not about seeing massive leaps forward every single time. It's about knowing that as long as you keep putting in the work, you will get closer to your goal. Progress is inevitable when consistency becomes a part of your life. You can't let the ups and downs of motivation dictate your actions. Life will never be a straight path. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and days when it feels like nothing is moving. But consistency keeps you grounded in the belief that small actions compound over time. The key is to trust the process. Trust that if you keep putting in the work, even when it feels like nothing is changing, eventually the results will come. They may not come in the form you expect, but they will come. What you do every day, no matter how small, shapes who you are and where you'll end up. The best part, you don't have to wait for motivation to show up. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to start. It's about starting and then showing up again tomorrow. And the day after that. The more you make consistency a habit, the less you'll rely on motivation to push you forward. You'll realize that it's not the bursts of excitement that drive real change, but the slow, steady momentum that builds from just doing the work. So don't worry when motivation feels distant. Don't expect it to always be there to carry you. Instead, make consistency your foundation. Commit to the process even when it's hard. When you do this, you'll start to notice that the results aren't just in what you accomplish, but in who you become along the way. Failure is not the end, even though it often feels like it. We've all been there. When something doesn't go as planned, when we stumble, or when things fall apart despite all our efforts, it's easy to feel defeated, like the dream we were chasing is slipping further away. But in reality, failure is not a roadblock, it's a stepping stone. It's part of the process, not something to be feared or avoided. In fact, without failure, we would never grow. It's in those moments of setback that the real lessons are learned, and without those lessons, you're just repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Failure is an opportunity, a chance to understand what went wrong, to see things from a new perspective, and to adjust your approach. When you fail, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. That's the true value of failure. It gives you the clarity you need to make better decisions moving forward. It's not about being perfect or getting it right every single time. It's about learning, improving, and becoming better than you were yesterday. When you look at failure this way, it no longer feels like an enemy. It becomes your greatest teacher. Every successful person has failed countless times. The difference between them and someone who gives up is simple. They didn't let failure define them, they let it teach them. And that's the mindset you need to adopt. Instead of seeing failure as a sign that you're not good enough or that you should quit, see it as the universe's way of giving you feedback. It's telling you that something needs to be adjusted. Maybe your strategy wasn't right. Maybe your timing was off, or maybe you simply need more experience. Whatever the reason, it's not the end of the road, just a detour, a lesson, and a chance to grow. What's more, when you fail and keep going, you build resilience. You strengthen the mental muscles that help you face future challenges with courage and determination. Resilience is what allows you to bounce back, to try again, to take that next step after everything has fallen apart. Without it, you'll be stuck in a loop of avoiding anything that feels uncomfortable or uncertain. But life is all about the uncomfortable. It's about stepping into the unknown, knowing that even if you fail, you can recover, learn, and try again. Failure also teaches humility. It keeps you grounded, reminding you that success isn't just about what you accomplish, but about how you respond to challenges. It strips away the illusion of perfection and shows you that everyone, no matter how successful, has faced their own struggles and setbacks. You're not alone in your failures. In fact, they're a common thread that binds everyone who's ever achieved something great. The most important thing is that you keep going, even after you fail. Don't allow one setback to stop you from trying again. Every failure is simply a part of the path to success. The only real failure is when you stop trying, when you let the fear of falling short stop you from moving forward. So fail, and fail often, because it means you're taking risks, learning, and most importantly, moving closer to the person you are meant to become. Success isn't just about the outcome, it's about who you become in the process. The world often focuses on the destination, the shiny accomplishments, the awards, the recognition. But the truth is, the journey is where the magic happens. It's in the small daily steps you take that shape you into the person capable of achieving your goals. The grind, the struggle, and the dedication all contribute to your growth in ways that success alone can't. When you embrace the process, you start to understand that it's not about rushing to the finish line. It's about learning to find joy in the work itself. You begin to appreciate the moments when things feel difficult, when you feel tired or frustrated, because you realize that these are the moments where you're evolving. The obstacles aren't there to stop you. They're there to teach you something, whether it's patience, discipline, or a new skill. And as you face each challenge, you become stronger, more capable, and more prepared for what's ahead. The person you're becoming along the way is the true reward. We often hear people talk about wanting the end result without understanding the price that must be paid to get there. They want the fame, the success, or the recognition, but they're not willing to put in the work that comes with it. Success is not something you arrive at, it's something you build. It's a process of continuous learning, growth, and improvement. And if you focus too much on the end goal, you miss the beauty of the journey. You miss the moments where you're learning more about yourself, where you're sharpening your skills, and where you're developing the mindset of someone who can truly succeed. Embracing the process also means being okay with imperfection. It's easy to look at the people you admire and think that they have everything figured out, but they don't. What makes them successful is their ability to stay committed to the process, even when things aren't perfect. It's about taking one step at a time and doing the best you can with what you have. It's about making progress, not aiming for perfection. Every small step you take towards your goal is a victory, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. Each one of those steps adds up and leads you to the next phase of your journey. By focusing on the process, you also build a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond the external rewards. The satisfaction doesn't just come from achieving the goal, it comes from the knowledge that you've put in the work, that you've stayed consistent, and that you've grown in ways you never imagined. The process transforms you. It molds you into someone who is capable, resilient, and confident. And that transformation is the real success. So when things get tough, when the road feels long, remember that the process itself is where the value lies. The work you're doing today, the lessons you're learning, and the person you're becoming are all part of a bigger picture. Keep your focus on the journey, not just the destination, and you'll find that the destination will come in its own time. And when it does, you'll be ready for it. Not just because of what you've achieved, but because of who you've become. Building something meaningful takes time. We live in a world that's obsessed with instant gratification, where everything feels like it should happen quickly, whether it's success, recognition, or even personal growth. But here's the thing, anything worth having takes time to build. It's like planting a seed and watching it grow into a tree. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to water it, care for it, and let it grow at its own pace. The same goes for everything you're working toward in life. When you rush the process, you miss the essential stages of growth. You skip over the lessons that teach you how to handle challenges, manage failure, and refine your approach. You might think that success is all about getting to the top as fast as possible, but in reality, the best success is the one that's built slowly, with intention and patience. The foundation you lay today determines how strong and lasting the structure will be in the future. If you try to take shortcuts, you risk building something that can't withstand the weight of your goals. The real work isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about creating a solid base that can support everything you dream of. This foundation is built through consistent effort, small actions that may seem insignificant at the time, but add up over time. Every day you show up, you're laying another brick, another layer that strengthens what you're building. The more patient and focused you are with the process, the more resilient your foundation becomes. It's not just about what you achieve in the moment. It's about ensuring that what you build can stand the test of time. It's easy to get caught up in the desire for quick success, especially when you see others around you seemingly moving faster. But remember, their path isn't yours. Comparing yourself to others only takes away from the focus you need to create something authentic and lasting. Your journey is unique, and rushing it only weakens the results. Instead of focusing on how fast you're moving, focus on making each step count. Each day that you put in effort, no matter how small it seems, is a step closer to something real and meaningful. In a world that constantly pushes for speed, you have to remind yourself that true success isn't measured by how quickly you reach your goals, but by how deeply you've invested in the process. The best things in life take time, the relationships, the skills, the wisdom, and the experiences that shape you into who you're meant to be. So be patient with yourself. Don't rush the journey, build at your own pace. The foundation you're creating now, brick by brick, will carry you further than any shortcut ever could. And when you look back, you'll realize that the time it took to build was never wasted. It was an essential part of the process that made you who you are today. So the next time you hear someone telling you to work harder, don't think of it as a burden. Think of it as a challenge to make yourself the best version of you. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need anyone's approval. Just keep working, stay focused, and build yourself. That's the true path to success.